Alright guys, today what we're going to do is we're going to review all three methods that we've been working on for solving systems of equations. We're going to review graphing, substitution, and elimination. Alright, and you need to be able to do all three methods. What we're going to do is we're going to do two questions all three ways. You need some graph paper, so go ahead and grab a sheet of graph paper and let's get started. Here we go, number one. If you need to pause, I'm moving a little quicker than you want, that you always have that option. 2x plus y equals 3, and y equals, negative 2x minus 1. First thing I'm going to do is solve this by graphing. And by the way, I better get the same answer all three ways. If I don't, something is definitely wrong. But let's see what happens. All right, so this top equation I need to solve for y if I'm going to graph it. So 2x plus y equals 3. Subtract over 2x. And you've got y equals negative 2x plus 3. Okay? All right, so let's set up a graph. Again, quality of your graph really does matter here. We want nice graphs, so it's very easy to tell where they cross. Okay, if they're not nicely done, you can't tell, and that's not good. All right, remember I say just label the last number on the x, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for me on the x-axis, 1, 2, 3, 4 the way I set it up on the y-axis. I'm going to start by graphing this first one, which starts down at negative 1. Go down 2 over 1, go down 2 over 1. Again, we're supposed to be able to graph straight lines at this point. We've done it a ton of times. Hopefully you're feeling like you've got that. Okay, the second one starts up at positive 3. 1, 2, 3. Go down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1. Connect those with a nice straight line. And we're actually going to see that those two lines do not cross. Okay? And that's possible. Remember, if they have the same slope, which they do, they're not going to cross. And the answer is no solution. So from the graph, we're seeing that the answer is no solution. Okay? Now you're going to be turning in these notes, so make sure you're taking these notes. This is what you're going to be turning in just a few minutes. All right, so now let's go ahead and take the same equation, but let's do substitution now. So I'm just going to abbreviate there. Now we're going to do substitution with 2x plus y equals 3, and then y equals negative 2x minus 1. Now to do substitution, remember, you need to know what x equals or what y equals. We do know what y equals. Y is negative 2x minus 1. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that and substitute it in as y. So that means that we're going to have 2x plus whatever y is. There's not like a number to multiply because it's not 3y or 5y or something like that. So it's just going to be plus this whole thing, negative 2x minus 1 equals 3. Okay, now you solve that by combining like terms. 2x plus negative 2x is 0. And so we end up with negative 1 equals 3. Well, last time I checked, the negative 1 does not equal 3. What is my answer here? No solution. Remember, that is a possible answer. Okay, and I'm doing this one specifically because I want you to be thinking about that. It is a possibility. The one that we do next will not be no solution. Okay, the next type of question. All right, but let's try to do it by elimination. So if I try to do this by elimination, I have 2x plus y equals 3, and then y equals negative 2x minus 1. Well, I can't do it by elimination yet, because remember, for elimination, you want both of your equations to be in standard form, which the bottom one is not. So you can get it in standard form by adding 2x to the other side of the equation. And if you do that, then you have 2x plus y equals negative 1. Okay, I just moved the 2x to the other side. So now I have my 2x plus y equals 3 equation and my 2x plus y equals negative 1 equation. Now remember, sometimes you got to multiply by a number. Maybe you multiply the x by the number or the y by a number. We don't have to do that here. Okay, because I am going to eliminate x. I'm going to eliminate it by subtracting. I already have the same number in front of x. Now, you got 2x minus 2x. That's 0. So is y minus y. That's 0 also. So I end up with 0 equals 3 minus minus 1 makes 4. Well, last time I checked, 0 does not equal 4. So again, I get no solution. And again, that's good news that I get the same answer all 3 times. If I didn't get the same answer, something's wrong. All right? All right, let's do one more here together. And then you will have accomplished what I want you to accomplish today. All right, so the second one is x plus 2y equals negative 6. And x minus y equals negative 3. Okay, now I'm going to actually do this one in reverse order. I'm going to start with elimination. And the reason why I'm going to start with elimination, because it's actually set up best for that. When you have the choice, you should do the way that's set up best. And again, this one is set up best for elimination. Now, it'd actually be easiest to just subtract right now because I'd eliminate my x's. But I didn't see that. Maybe I want to get y the same. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply my bottom equation by 2 if I do that. Okay? And so, what does that look like if I do? So my top equation is still going to be x plus 2y equals negative 6. But my new bottom equation is going to be 2x minus 2y equals negative 6. Now again, I'm trying to eliminate y. 2 plus negative 2 is 0. So I'm going to be adding these two equations. So I have x plus 2x, that's 3x. And that equals negative 6 plus negative 6, which is negative 12. I'm adding, make sure you add right. Divide each side by 3, and we're going to have that x equals negative 4. Now that I know that x is negative 4, I can plug back into the equation of my choice. All right, so I am going to plug into the top one for x. So it's going to be negative 4 plus 2y equals negative 6. I'm just putting the negative 4 in for x. I'm going to add over the 4. Add over the 4. That's going to give me 2y equals negative 2. I'm going to divide each side by 2 to get y equals negative 1. And so I'm saying these two lines cross and negative 4 comma negative 1. Now I'm fairly confident about that, but I'm going to try to do it by the other methods, see if I get the same answer. Okay, so that was elimination. Let's do it by substitution next. Okay, I told you I was going to reverse the order on this one. So same questions, x plus 2y equals negative 6, and x minus y equals negative 3. Okay, so I am going to do substitution, which means I have to know what x equals or what y equals. Well, I don't know what x equals or what y equals here, but I could find it. And you just have to choose. You have to pick a letter that looks easy to solve for. It's really easy to solve this top one for x, because all I got to do is subtract over 2y. And in fact, I'm just going to do that right here. X plus 2y equals negative 6. I'm going to subtract over 2y, and that gives me x equals negative 2y minus 6. Good. Now remember, once you've got what x equals or what y equals, you need to plug it in. But very important, you've got to plug it into the other equation. I'm going to plug into the other equation for x. You have to do that here. You cannot plug into the same one that you just solved. All right, so I'm going to put in for x. So I'm going to have negative 2y minus 6. That's all going in for x. Minus y equals negative 3. Okay, so now I'm going to combine my like terms. I'm going to have negative 3y minus 6 equals negative 3. I'm going to add the 6 to the other side to get negative 3y equals 3. Divide each side by negative 3, and you're going to have y equals negative 1. Okay, so I got y equals negative 1. Now I need to plug back in, and it doesn't matter which one you plug into. I'm going to plug into this one right here for y. Okay, so if I do that, I'm going to have x equals negative 2 times negative 1 minus 6. Well, negative 2 times negative 1 is positive 2 minus 6, x equals negative 4. And I should be shocked by this, but I get the same answer. And you better get the same answer. Negative 4 comma negative 1. Now, for our last one, let's do it by graphing. All right, so by graphing, so graph the system, it's x plus 2y equals negative 6, and x minus y equals negative 3. Now to graph it, we're going to need to solve for y. But you could do x and y intercepts. If you wanted to do this one by x and y intercepts and graph, that would be fine. Okay, that's a way that we did it. If you want to make a table, you could do that too. But I'm going to do it by solving for y. So I'm going to take x plus 2y equals negative 6, solve for y. So I'm going to subtract x. So I got 2y equals negative x minus 6. And now divide everything by 2. So y equals negative 1/2 x minus 3. Okay, that's solved for y. Let's solve this one for y. So I'm going to subtract x from each side. That gives me negative y equals negative x minus 3. And then I'm going to divide every part by negative 1. And if I do that, y ends up equaling x plus 3. So there's the two equations that I now need to graph. And we need to see where they cross. All right, so let's do that. Set up a nice graph. Again, quality of your graph really matters here. When you do them by graphing, it needs to look perfect. Okay, so I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't know why I went out so far there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up here. Let's start by graphing y equals x plus 3. So I'm going to start up at positive 3. 1, 2, 3. And go up 1, over 1, up 1, over 1. Connect with a nice straight line. Hoping that I'll be able to see easily where it crosses the other line. Okay, now the other one starts down at negative 3. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to go down 1 over 2, down 1 over 2. Connect those with a nice straight line. Ooh, I barely made my line long enough that they cross. But they do cross. And again, if you didn't make it long enough, you just got to extend them so that they will cross. And I'm saying that the graphs cross right here. Now, what is that point? Remember, the answer is not the graph. It's negative 1, 2, 3, 4, comma negative 1. And if you look back at the other two methods, what answer did we get? By elimination, we got negative 4, comma negative 1. By substitution, we got negative 4, negative 1. And by graphing, we got negative 4, comma negative 1. All right, you got an easy Monday today. All you got to do now is submit these notes. I'll give you credit for it, and you're done today. Now, one of the things you may want to do with the extra time that you have, though, is you've got worksheets on all three methods. You can go back and practice anything that you still feel like you need. All the answers are provided. That's something you can be doing today. All right, you guys have a great day, and I will see you when I see you this week. Have a good day.